Hi everyone, Clara is here again. Welcome to Difference Frames the World, a demonetized channel to see the world differently. If you want to support us in keeping DFTW alive, please use the links in the description and pinned comments or scan the QR codes on the bottom left corner of the video. Today, we continue with part 3 of the Anti-Japanese War, translated from Mark's talk in Mandarin on his Chinese channel, which viewers can watch by the following link in the description. We published the first and second episodes yesterday. If viewers have not watched them, please find the links to them in the pinned comments and description. In episode 3, we discussed 2 Japanese war criminals whom China and the US did not punish for their atrocities. The first one was the head of the Japanese army in northern China during the Anti-Japanese War, ranking number 1 on the list of Japanese war criminals in China. However, neither the Chinese national government nor the Allied forces had sentenced him. Who pardoned this war criminal, Yasuji Okamura? Chiang Kai-shek pardoned him. The Kuomintang leader allegedly reached an under-the-table agreement with the number 1 Japanese war criminal. It is said that Yasuji Okamura received an order from Chiang Kai-shek instructing him not to surrender to the 8th Route Army and the new 4th Army, which were under the control of the Communist Party. Yasuji Okamura obeyed the order. In return, the nationalist government, the Republic of China, acquitted him. Yasuji Okamura even became Chiang Kai-shek's advisor. He died in 1966, unpunished. Chiang Kai-shek did not punish him, then why did the Allies not punish him? Yasuji Okamura did not participate in the Pacific War, only bullying the Chinese. As Chiang Kai-shek did not care, why should the Allied forces bother to punish him? Politics is a filthy game, and it is all about deals. Chiang Kai-shek made a deal with Yasuji Okamura, and the latter walked away, not punished for his crimes. For some politicians, criminals can also be friends, and Chiang Kai-shek used Yasuji Okamura to stop the Communist Party from expanding. Before Japan surrendered, Chiang Kai-shek had prepared to fight the civil war with the Communists, his mortal enemy. However, he was not a genius in terms of military operations, and 3 years after he launched the Civil War in 1946, he escaped to Taiwan. We often say that Taiwan is part of China, and the civil war across the Taiwan Strait has not ended. During his whole life, Chiang Kai-shek wanted to recover China's mainland. After he died in 1975, his son followed his directives, still regarding the Republic of China as the legal government of China, while the People's Republic of China was a rebelling force. Before 1996, both sides of the Taiwan Strait regarded themselves as the owner of the whole of China, and there was no such concept as Taiwan's independence until Li Denghui and his followers conspired to separate Taiwan from China. Beijing has never given up the hope of getting Taiwan back. When Chairman Mao was alive, he wrote several letters to Chiang Kai-shek, inviting him back to the mainland. It is worth mentioning that even during the Cultural Revolution, when the Red Guards unearthed the tomb of Confucius, the graveyard of Chiang Kai-shek's clan remained intact. Chairman Mao and Chiang Kai-shek have not been buried for almost half a century after they died in 1976 and 1975, respectively. Hopefully, when the mainland and Taiwan reunite someday, they can join their ancestors underground, a tradition of burying the dead in China for thousands of years. Now let us discuss the second war criminal the Allied forces did not punish. In several videos, we used to talk about Shinzo Abe, who was assassinated in July 2022. The war criminal we talk about today is Shinzo Abe's maternal grandfather. Kishi Nobusuke, whom the Allies had captured when Japan surrendered, was set free, and he even became the Prime Minister of Japan. He created the Japanese Self-Defense Forces. During his life, he wanted Japan to get rid of the United States and become a normal country, devoting himself to Japan's militarism resurrection. Why did the United States release him? Like the deal between Yasuji Okamura and Chiang Kai-shek, Kishi Nobusuke cooperated with the United States. As the deal was related to Unit 731, we will not elaborate on it here. He escaped punishment, like the number 1 war criminal in China, Yasuji Okamura. In 1987, he died at 91, with a lifespan several times longer than some victims in China. Ironically, he became a respected political figure in Japan, and his influence also helped Shinzo Abe become the Japanese Prime Minister. On September 9, 1945, Chinese General He Yingchen accepted the official submission of Japan's unconditional surrender from Yasuji Okamura, which concluded the 14-year-long anti-Japanese war from September 18, 1931, to September 9, 1945. It is worth mentioning that Taiwan was the 15th surrender area, and Chen Yi accepted the Japanese Army's surrender, witnessing Taiwan's return to its motherland, China. The Qing government ceded Taiwan to Japan in 1895, after the Japanese Navy defeated the Chinese Navy in 1894. So, from a legal point of view, Taiwan became the territory of Japan for 50 years, from 1895 to 1945. However, the Chinese Communist Party does not recognize unequal treaties signed between the old China and the imperialist invaders. The government of the People's Republic of China, in Beijing, does not recognize that Taiwan had ever separated from its motherland, based on the statement to nullify all unequal treaties when founding the PRC in 1949. Even if China recognized the occupation of Taiwan by Japan from 1895 to 1945, the fact that Taiwan was restored after World War II has proved that Taiwan is none of Japan's business. However, Japan keeps provoking China on the issue of Taiwan, and Shinzo Abe, lying flat in the frame, planned to visit Taiwan at the end of July 2022, before he became a picture in black and white. He did not make it, unfortunately for him and fortunately for China. Taiwan's Tsai Ing-wen should not be interested in a photo in the frame, assumably. September 27, 2022, will see the state funeral of Shinzo Abe, and many people in Japan are opposed to it as they think Shinzo Abe did not make any significant contribution to their country, and that the current government of Fumio Kishida should not give him a state funeral to waste taxpayers' money. Many Western leaders have accepted the invitation to attend his state funeral. Will China also participate? Shinzo Abe was a controversial figure. During his first term of office, which lasted around 1 year, he tried to mend relations with China and contributed to the improved relations between the two nations in those days. When he came to power again, he began to work against China, realizing he had to fight China to maintain his position. He started the Quad with the United States, India, and Australia, a four-nation alliance targeting China. During his second term, Japan modified textbooks, avoiding Japan's invasion of China, which we discussed yesterday in part 2 of the series. He did many things that hurt the feelings of the Chinese people, so China's mainland would not send a high-ranking official to attend his state funeral, and the ambassador to Japan might be a good option. A Chinese provincial leader, the governor of Taiwan, may want to go, but the Chinese People's Liberation Army does not allow her. Taiwan may send an unofficial representative to show its friendship if Beijing does not oppose it. It is hard to answer yet, but most likely, Beijing and Taipei's representatives may not meet at Shinzo Abe's state funeral. Here is the last episode of the series. Before the video ends, we must thank our supporters and patrons for their continuous support to keep DFTW alive for nearly 9 months, after Google demonetized all our English channels. Please support us in sustaining DFTW as an independent and impartial voice through the links in the description and pinned comments, or scan the QR codes on the bottom left of the video. Your generosity and help are essential to keep DFTW alive as an alternative voice to the mainstream media.